Hello, it's Lane here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to do something that I don't do all that often, which is a recommendations video. If I remember correctly, the last recommendations video I did was for things to read if you like tokusatsu, and I think I recommended stuff like Saint Seiya and Ultraman and Kamen Rider and stuff like that, like the manga versions. And today I want to do a recommendation for Dinosaur related content, right? So books, movies, video games, stuff that has to do with dinosaurs. And the reason for that is because the movie 65 with Adam Driver came out recently, and I haven't been able to watch it yet, but I do want to. I think I'm going to go on Tuesday if this video releases Saturday, so a few days after this video releases, and I will try to do a review for it. Hopefully it's still around, because I don't think it was a movie that did that well. So if it's still around, I will go watch it on Tuesday, because they have like a special discount on Tuesdays for people to go watch movies. So I will try to go watch it on Tuesday, and if I like it, I'll do a review for it. Honestly, if I don't like it, I'll do a review for it as well. But thinking about, a new dinosaur movie got me thinking about stuff that I like that included dinosaurs. And I've seen a lot of stuff growing up. There's a lot of great documentaries like Walking with Dinosaurs and stuff like that. There was The Land Before Time, those movies about the cute little dinosaurs. There was what was it called? I guess it was just Dinosaur, like the Disney movie about the iguanodons, and that had like this big fight with the Carnotaurus, or the Carnotaurs, at the end of the movie, and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about some of my favorite things and stuff that I think is interesting, even if I don't like it all that much. And I didn't really want to mention the basics, right? Like Jurassic Park, like Land Before Time and Dinotopia and stuff like that. And I also didn't want to mention stuff that wasn't really that good, but I like Primeval. There was this old show about this kind of like this dude that was a military guy, and somehow he ended up kind of dealing with these like time incursion things that happen to all be dinosaurs. It kind of reminded me a lot of Stargate, actually. And there was another one where, like Terra Nova or something, where they would get sent through this portal to a new world, and this new world actually had dinosaurs in it and stuff like that. But I didn't really want to talk about those. So I'm going to talk about the best things that I can think of, and some things that are just nostalgic for me, or some things that I really don't think are that good, but I think are really interesting for some aspect, right? So let's get into it. So first of all, let's talk about Prehistoric Park. This is an old documentary-esque kind of group of episodes. It was like a 6-episode miniseries. It had this guy called Nigel Marven, who was basically the what's it called, like the crocodile hunter equivalent for dinosaurs or something like that, like in this fictional version of the world that they were looking at in Prehistoric Park. And it was basically like half documentary, half speculative paleontology. Well, that I can't say half again, but like you get what I'm saying. It was like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and also this kind of like zoology, taking care of these prehistoric animals in this park kind of thing, kind of riffing off Jurassic Park, but kind of doing it in a different way, right? So this guy Nigel would be like, okay, we want to find this type of dinosaur, and we know that one of them died at this time period, so we're going to do a Stargate portal, and we're going to walk through this portal. We're going to end up in this time period, and we're going to lure one of these things that died through the portal so that we can save it, and we can kind of use it to teach people about it, right? So it was really cool. They saved a bunch of dinosaurs. They even went back in time for like some centipedes, like those giant ones that were like 7 feet tall. They did something with an Erasmatherium, which is a woolly rhinoceros, and a mammoth, and a saber-toothed tiger, and a bunch of stuff. And I would watch the show ad nauseum, right? Like I would watch it over and over and over again, because I just thought it was really, really cool. Eventually I did stop watching it because I got older and dinosaurs weren't as cool. Also, I just think there was a long time period where dinosaur stuff just never was not popular anymore, and so I kind of got out of it. But I do still always like dinosaurs. I have always liked dinosaurs, so I kept coming back to it, in my thoughts. as I got older. So yeah. Moving on to something else, Prehistoric Planet. This is a recently released documentary series. It also got recently announced that season 2 is coming. It's on Apple Plus or Apple TV Plus, whatever the subscription service for Apple TV is. You can watch it there. I watched the first episode. I haven't had time to watch the rest of it, and it's really, really good. It also has speculative paleontology or biology in it, where it's like, okay, we know these behaviors for these types of animals, and dinosaurs happen to have these things in common with them, so we can kind of extrapolate the fact that these dinosaurs also acted in this kind of specific way. And so there's these really interesting things where like a T-Rex kind of waddles across the water, and it's followed by its little children, kind of like ducks, and it's really cute, and it's really interesting, and it just gives you a look at dinosaurs that is very different from what we usually get, which is these like terrifying beasts that are just trying to murder everyone, right? So I really like it. I think it's really, really cool. But I don't really have too much to say about it because I've only really watched the first episode, so yeah. Moving on to books here. Let's talk about 2 of them. First of all, Dinosaur Lords. This is basically high fantasy, but instead of having normal beasts of burden, like horses and Enochs and, giant animals, or, kind of things like chasm fiends from Stormlight Archive, they have dinosaurs. And so you follow these people that basically live in this Game of Thrones world, but instead of dragons and wolves and stuff like that, they all have dinosaurs, and it's really cool. You follow these dudes that are dragon knights that ride on these like they're not like velociraptors, they're kind of like some sort of theropod, right? Like the two-legged carnivorous dinosaurs, they ride on them. And there's, I think, some dudes that ride on Triceratops and some that ride on Stegosaurus and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. However, I don't remember if I ever finished this book. And I think it was because there was this kind of element of religion in it that didn't really work for me. But also, it was just weird, right? So, I don't know. Generally speaking, I think the aspect of having knights plus dinosaurs is really, really cool. And, we even saw Transformers do that in one of the movies. But I think the execution of it wasn't the best, at least in my personal taste. So I want to recommend it because I still think it's cool. I just don't think that it worked for me. So there you go. That's why I want to talk about this one. Now, talking about something that is also a book about dinosaurs that really did work for me, besides Jurassic Park, because I think that works for most everyone, is this harem-lit, game-lit type story called Tamer, the King of Dinosaurs. And it's written by Michael Scott Earl. Dinosaur Lords was written by Victor Milan, by the way. And basically, it follows this guy. He's kind of a loser. But he is someone that works with animals. He's some sort of like animal patrolman or something like that. I don't know what they're called. Like the people that you call or you see on TV that they call when like an alligator's in a pool, something like that. He gets called in to do something. And after that, somehow, he gets abducted by aliens or something. And he ends up in this like prehistoric looking planet that's filled with dinosaurs, and he also has to interact with aliens. Because this is a harem-lit series, most of these aliens happen to be women, very attractive women, and of course he becomes friends with them. And nothing really happens like between these characters until the second book. And you can read the first book for free. You can just download it directly from MSC's website. And I recommend you do. It's pretty fun. And while they're there, they're like, okay, we have to tame these dinosaurs. We have to create a compound for us to live in, and we have to deal with the reality of our new situation. And so they do. But of course, it's mostly an interpersonal problem. It's kind of like Naked and Afraid or Survivalist or, any of these types of shows where it's like you find a person, you put them in the middle of a shitty situation, and you have to make them survive and kind of get out of it, right? But the added danger of dinosaurs, plus people that he doesn't really know that happen to be aliens that all have superpowers, plus the fact that he also has a game mechanic embedded into him where he can see his level, he can see who he's tamed, and he can see his stats and stuff like that. And it kind of ends up being a recipe for a lot of fun and a lot of interesting stuff going on. For me personally, I recommend you read the book instead of listen to the audiobook. A lot of people in the kind of harem-lit genre community enjoy reading audiobooks instead, but it doesn't really work for me. I don't really like them. So I recommend you read the novel instead, but it's pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable. and it's one that I quite like. So there you go. Moving on to kind of some Japanese stuff, because this is primarily a YouTube channel about Japanese things. We have a video game called Fossil Fighters, which is really fun, and I really don't see that many people talking about it. And I think there's 3 versions of this. There's the original Fossil Fighters game, then Fossil Fighters Champions, which I never finished, and then Fossil Fighters Frontier, which I really only recently learned about like yesterday, while I was thinking about stuff for this video. So yeah, I recommend the first one for sure. And basically it's like a Pokemon game. You're a kid, you get sent to this island where you can revive dinosaurs. So part of the fun is excavating dinosaurs, and you actually have to use the bottom screen of the Nintendo DS or 3DS or whatever to use the stylus and kind of, you know, pick and hammer and then drill away like stuff so that the piece of the skeleton gets revealed. Then you revive it, and then you get a coin that gives you the power of this dinosaur. And then you can use these coins to fight other people in these arenas. And you can kind of evolve your dinosaur, you can combine it in a certain way, you can increase its levels doing different things. And, you know, there's like a type system. I think there's only 5 types. There's a blue one, a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. And they had like different combinations, and I think there was like some other type as well. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really, really fun. But it was a little bit frustrating when you couldn't get the dinosaur bones to work for you, right? So, you know, it kind of happened, but it was fun. It was really enjoyable. It kind of had the elements of the 4th generation Underground, plus the fact that it was dinosaurs, plus the fact that it was kind of like Pokemon, and it had a really interesting, cool story as well. So it was really, really fun. So if you guys ever have the chance to track it down, I recommend it. It's a pretty fun game. And then moving on to a different type of game. This is a trading card game. There's Dinosaur King. Now you can also watch the anime for this, and that's actually how I got into the series. I ended up picking up some cards for it at some point, but I was not actually someone that played TCGs. I was just someone that liked the cards and the artwork. But Dinosaur King is some sort of Digimon-esque type thing, where like the kids have their little partner that happens to have an ability to kind of exist in the real world, even though they're not real. At least that's how I remember it. I'm not really sure, honestly, but it's pretty fun. You have the main character has a Triceratops, one of them has a Stegosaurus, and one of them has a T-Rex, I think, or something like that. And, you know, they end up collecting more dinosaurs as they go through the video game, or as they go through the anime. But you could do the same thing for the video game or the trading card game, and it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed it when I was a kid. It kind of came out at the same time as like Chaotic and some other stuff, like a lot of other TCG type game things that I really enjoyed. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I don't really remember too much about it, but I do remember that it was like something I really enjoyed, and I know that you can watch it on Netflix, so I definitely recommend you guys do. And then finally, we have a manga here. Now, honestly, the fact that there's not enough manga or anime about dinosaurs kind of sucks, but I think it's just not something that's all that interesting for Japanese audiences, so understandable, I guess. But let's talk about Dinosaur Sanctuary. I have the second book somewhere up there. And Dinosaur Sanctuary is basically another type of Jurassic Park style story. At some point in this alternate history of the world, people found an island where dinosaurs existed, and I think they had some sort of dwarfism, kind of like the island where mammoths survived like way past the Ice Age because they became small. Or what was the other place? New Caledonia, which was like this island off somewhere where there was just a lot of weird animals there. Or that might have been a mythological place, I don't remember. But, you know, kind of that idea. There's this island that Japan found that had dinosaurs in it, and then they also found technology in order to revive dinosaurs from skeletons, and so they did this, and then these things called dinosaur parks started showing up. And the problem is that nowadays dinosaur parks are not really that popular because the buzz of dinosaurs has died away, right? So we follow this girl who happens to have a father or a family member that was really into the initial phase of developing dinosaur kind of technology, but they died. And this girl is like, okay, I want to follow in their footsteps. I want to join this, dinosaur zoo. And she joins this one. But this sanctuary, this dinosaur place, is kind of down in the dumps, and it doesn't really have anywhere where it can kind of expand, right? So she kind of breathes new life into it by just having a lot of fervor for what she's doing, and it's really interesting. And there's this kind of social tension that develops, and I really recommend it. But honestly, the best part about Dinosaur Sanctuary is the dinosaur artwork. It looks really, really good. It also has a lot of speculative paleontology about how the behaviors of these dinosaurs worked. So that's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. So there you go. That's 7 different things that you guys can read or watch or play that are related to dinosaurs that are probably going to be better than that new movie 65. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thought. And let me know some different recommendations for prehistoric or dinosaur related stuff that you guys have seen or watched or played in some way down below. I know there's some like Ark and stuff like that, but I'm not really much of a video game person, so I don't really play video games all that much. But let me know down below what kind of dinosaur related things you guys like. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.